I just think Ime Udoka is coach of the year, bro. I think he's probably the most underrated coach. And you know what's crazy about it too, Chris? When Ime
What?
Udoka was first announced as the Rockets head coach, it's kind of like we all knew he was going to turn it around. Like we knew he was.
Hmm. Yeah, I disagree with you as far as Udoka. Sorry, Ime Udoka being the coach of the year. I don't think he's coach of the year right now at all. I think Jamal Mosley should be in consideration and should be coach of the year right now as well.
Mm, I love Jamal Mosley, but going on. Ain't nobody on the Rockets better than Franz Wagner. Even that, no, there's nobody on the Rockets I would really take outside of Sengun over Jalen Suggs. I'm just saying, bro. I'm just saying, fam. I
I don't
still
know.
think even without Paolo, like Franz Wagner and Jalen Suggs down there better than everybody on the Rockets still.
I guess, but I mean, I think personally, um, him being a top 4 seed in the East, and I think they'll only get better. Him missing his biggest young star, him coaching this young team. I think Jamal Mosley personally has done a little bit better of a job than this deeper young Rockets team, in my opinion.
Man, say that I feel you. I promise I do. But when you got Paolo, who was established the number one. We got Franz, who was the established number two. We got Jalen Suggs, who's the established Derek White 3 to 4 type of guy. All that's been established. Now we just fully into our identity.
Mm-hmm.
Houston is still a whole bunch of young guys and two vets. Literally, just we don't know who's going to be our real first option, second option, third option. We're just doing it night in, night out, just by execution, defense, and just this new. Just you're not going to be bullshitting because I'm here. Literally, the thing about Houston is it's May's team. The
Mm-hmm.
Magic is Paolo's team. When you think of the Magic, you think of Paolo. When you think of the Rockets, you think of Ime. There's no star over there. Like I get it. The Magic,
Shingo not a star. We not finna
no,
act like Shingo's not a star.
he's not.
What's keeping Shingo from being called a star in your book?
I just don't think he's good enough. Like, do you think he's good enough to lead a team to the finals?
What has he been lead a team
No, Chris, stop it.
lead a team to the finals? Maybe not lead a team to the finals, but he can definitely be a good lead a team to a decent place. And then he
What is
has
he?
some
Is he better than Demonis Sabonis to you?
this season. I think he's been better than Sabonis.
I'm
I
not as
don't.
fair. I'm just asking.
I don't
Like,
think Sabonis has been. I don't think Sabonis is an all world mover for me right now.
okay, so just okay. Where does he rank amongst bigs? Not just centers, bigs, like the bigs. Because you still got the Jokic, the Giannis, the AD, the bigs. With the bigs are the best players on their
He's
team.
still top 10 big.
Let me look. Let me see what's going on with these bigs.
He's still a top 10 big. I think Shingun, as far as they played through Shingun. Who did the Rockets literally play through Alper and Shingun? They're
Is he
not
better
they're
than
not
Cat?
not this season, no. But would I expect him to be better than Cat? I mean, he's 21. He's averaging about 18, 19 points a game. He's also giving you about 5 assists and like everybody used to, he's better defensively than he has been in the past this season.
So would you okay, if you building a championship team and you already got Sengun, would you try to bring in somebody that's better or worse than him?
I'm bringing in a nice scorer that can play off of him, handle the ball, and get
Because
and get their own shot at times.
Okay, let me rephrase it. Who are you bringing in next to Sengun that's making them a championship team that he's going to
If
be better
if
than?
I got De'Aaron Fox in there, if Shingun was like if De'Aaron Fox came to the Rockets, I think that's a championship team.
And De'Aaron Fox is the best player on his team. You see what I'm saying?
All right, you
Like
so okay, you
he's a
would
2 or 3, just like how Pau Gasol, because Pau Gasol was leading the Grizzlies to a playoff.
okay.
But it's like, bruh, you ain't no Kobe. And you say you on a championship team, it's because there's somebody over here better than you. And I
And
think
he
we
just
kind of say that about the Rockets because nobody really takes the Rockets seriously because nobody views Sengun as the guy. We think of the Rockets, we think of Ime.
I guess, yeah, but I just personally think Sengun is a star. I think he's someone you can build around as well.
Okay,
I
let
think
me phrase it like
he
this. I'm sorry, real quick, and then you can get back to that. If
all
you
right.
ask Rocket fans, who would you rather keep, Ime Udoka or Sengun? Who you think they keeping?
You can always find a coach.
Okay, if you ask, so it'll be the same thing with the Magic. You think the Magic fans would say, man, they'll say Jamal Murray, get your ass out of here.
Yeah, they would.
They would say it faster than the Rockets fans.
No. No, they wouldn't. I'm Ime is a culture builder, clearly. I think the Celtics they had to let him go because of his situation, or I guess. But I mean, at the same time, uh, we also see what Missoula could come in and he can win a championship with that roster too. Um, I guess so. As far as culture building now, this was my year for the Rockets to actually do something, make the playoffs, whatever, take that jump. Clearly, it looks like that's what they're doing right now. If they win NBA Cup, I might be looking at, like you said, he may a little bit more seriously for Coach of the Year for sure. He's a culture builder. He has the young guys playing hard, playing their role. Um, so in that aspect, yes, I get what you're saying. I just think in my aspect, I think Jamal Mosley has had his guys playing well in absences, has had his defense for that Magic team playing well. He's been holding teams under like 100 points for multiple games. Um, my opinion, and then I think there's less mistakes as far as into the game and things like that coming from Magic side without their young stars, without their young star, and just relying on Franz rather than Houston Rockets have been a little. It can be a little shaky sometimes while they're starting Fred VanVleet. So
I just think Ime Udoka is in a trickier situation. I think Jamal Mosley has better players. I like Jamal Mosley. He was in Dallas, I think. Wasn't he? He was in Dallas with
yeah,
Luka
he
now.
was in Dallas with Luca.
I like him. He seems very cool, calm, collected, all those things.
Mm-hmm.
But when I think of Ime, I think of like a college coach. It's like he's the guy. Like you put him on a team, the coach of a team, it's Ime's team. I don't there's not a lot of coaches like that. Like you look at Miami, you like, oh nah, that's Eric Spoelstra's team. Like
Yeah.
I think Ime is one of those type of guys. So he's that powerful presence, and I think he's
Mm-hmm.
that type of coach. Chris, when he signed to the Rockets, nobody didn't. Everybody thought he was gonna turn it around. Like it's like he's held in that high of regard, and I just think he's just one of those. He's a one of one type of coach. I don't know. I damn near think
Yeah.
of him like a Bill Self, just on the goddamn in the pro level. I just think he's a guy who is just he's the guy, and it's
Yeah.
just very few coaches that you can say it's like that. So Jamal Mosley, I'm sorry, bro. Rockets stay
I,
top 3 seed.
yeah.
Amen.
I guess so. I think he had a clear vision of what he wanted, how to build this team, how to get them where they are currently right now. You know, I'm gonna bring in some vets. I'm gonna bring in some guys for toughness. We're gonna all compete. We're all gonna be competitive. You're gonna fear me because if you're not you're gonna fear me in the figure that I am on the sidelines and in practice, whatever. You're not playing well, you're gonna lose your spot, like that kind of aspect. I think that clearly he laid down the foundation, the roadmap to get from undisciplined, don't know what they were doing kind of Rockets team to, more structured, more competitive, young, talented team with some of that veteran presence as well.
Do you think Kenny Atkinson got some coach of the year? He got some action, or do you think they had already had too much sitting plays?
I mean, it's probably crazy that I went Jamal Mosley over Kenny Atkinson. I just said, granted that he won like 15 games in a row. I mean, I feel like they just already had the star power, already had the team. They already had that cohesiveness. He kind of just came in, tweaked a few things, and then let the engine run, and they went off on their way. And I mean, I guess you do give him credit for that, but I kind of like what Jamal Mosley's been doing with missing some guys and having them where they're at. So and being a younger team.
I'm on your side with this. I just was, wanted to hear it before I said it too, because the Cavaliers, they was dealing with injury problems last year. I think they were very unhealthy in terms of their core four, and they still were the 4th seed. So most people projected them to be a top 3 regular season team anyway. So nobody predicted Paolo going out, and they even when they get. Remember, we thought they was going. So I do like what Jamal Mosley is doing, but I think even with the guys he got, they damn near, man, that Houston Rock 3 in the West too. Like,
okay,
it's crazy.
That is true. The West is rough, and for them to have that, I didn't have them getting even early. I didn't have them getting out and sustaining this. By this point in the season, I was like, Rockets will fall eventually. They haven't fallen. Ime Udoka has been having them well. They just beat OKC. Yes, like you said, Fred VanVleet dropped 38, surprisingly. So they have an interesting team. I just think like we talked about this earlier. When Fred VanVleet is your star, like they have some starters where I think like they can improve on, as far as like you'd want Amin Thompson to be a starter. Maybe you want Reece Shepherd to get better and be your starter over Fred VanVleet eventually, like rather than him depending on him to be your actual starter, if that makes sense. So
yeah, it just you let the vets put you in a position where you make it to the playoffs, and then you slowly filter their ass out.
Found some shit I love to do, so I can look comfortable. Searching for a peace of mind, need that when it's time to rhyme. Perfect in every line, any chance I get, and I know it takes time, but I will never quit.